Well, that's not gonna work. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the shop. This is our 2013 Mitsubishi Fuso FG that I'm slowly turning into an overland camper. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that recently I've been working on attaching the camper habitat box to the subframe, which is attached to the truck chassis. And now that I've got the over-center clamps and the 1-inch pins in the back, and I'm halfway through mounting the over-center clamps in the front, it's time to scratch my head a little bit more and finish the front mounts. The over-center tensioning clamps that I've used in the front are a slightly different style than what we used in the rear. And remember, these are not what's holding it to the truck, they're tensioning it so that we can put the mounting bolt in over there. What I need to do next to get this system working is install the other half. This gets mounted to the end of the subframe so that the top half can latch onto this. And here's where I ran into a bit of a head scratcher. This is essentially the setup that we're going for with the hook mounted to the end of the subframe. But I kind of remember when I was building the headache rack and the front of the subframe that I used fairly thin material to cap the ends of the pipes, which means I only have thin material where I want to attach that latch. Now again, this is not holding the box on, but it is pulling down with a significant amount of force so that we can line things up for the bolt or pin to go through there. What I don't want to have happen is I put tension on and it just pulls out on the end piece of that box tube. Well, that should be a pretty straightforward, easy fix. You just need to cut that out and put something thicker there. That could be an easy fix, but that involves taking this off, taking the subframe off, cutting the end off, welding a new piece on, repainting it, and I really don't want to have that be the integral part that could fail, because if it does fail in the future, that means I would have to do all of that again. So my next thought had been to install a piece of heavy angle that went across the bottom and up the inside, sort of like this. This way I could bolt it to the bottom of the heavier walled box tube and it would provide a good solid end face to bolt this to. Which I'm sure would work very well. However, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a whole bunch of stuff right underneath where I would need to drill the holes to put that on. Not the end of the world, I could take that apart, or again, I could take the box off and take the subframe off and drill some holes up into the bottom, but I really wanted to get this at least somewhat completed today. So I have a nice chunk of heavy duty 2x2x1/4 steel angle that I'd like to be able to use, but I needed to use it in a different way. And standing there looking at it this morning, I think I figured it out. Instead of cutting a 2-inch wide slice of this and trying to install it this way to give myself a mounting point, what if I turn the whole thing sideways and mount it this way and weld an end cap on? This allows me to put a number of bolts through this surface for now. Welding the end cap on gives me the mounting surface for the latch, and then later on, when I'm ready to lift all this back off again, because I do have to take all this back off again to do another small job up at the front, then I can just drill the last 2 holes up through the bottom and the mount will be complete. Additionally, mounting it this way around and allowing me to have bolts on the side and the bottom will end up with a much stronger mount, because in order for it to try and rotate like this, it's pulling up against the bottom of this. The bolt back here will be in tension, the bolt back here will be in shear. Overall, that will be a pretty tough position to move it out of. I've already cleaned up this piece of steel ready to go. I gotta start by cutting it in half and then welding some end caps on the end. I've also cut up some scrap 1/4-inch flat bar to make the end caps. I've kind of fit it together using a magnet to hold everything in place. I'm going to do a 50-50 type weld around the outside, so that'll give me good penetration in because it's 1/4-inch thick. And I'm not going to be able to weld the backside because it would interfere with how it fits over top of what's already there. So we're set up for a 50-50 weld. I'm going to weld this around here. I'll wrap my welds a little bit around the corner, but not much, and that way I can just grind them back out at the corners. I do, you may have noticed, have a big overhang here, and that's because this is 2-inch by 2-inch angle, but because it's sitting with this leg of the angle in front of the box tube, it leaves me a 1/4 inch short on the back of the box tube. So I've extended this plate a 1/4 inch past so that this is a full 2-inch end cap. It's actually a little bit more, so slightly over 2 1/4. But that extends it to the back of the box tube because the clamp actually fits closer to the back than the front. And perhaps equally importantly, I have created 2 opposites, not 2 of the same, so that I actually have something that will work, not one bracket that works and one that's backwards from what it's supposed to be. I'll start with a couple of tacks. I can pull the magnet out and we'll do the full weld. All right, welding is all done. A little bit of cleanup to do with the grinder where my weld overlaps with my tack. But other than that, we should be good to go. And that should not have any way of coming apart. That is a pretty strong part for what I'm gonna ask it to do. Now I meant to film this part as a time lapse, but I hit the wrong button and filmed it as a slow-mo clip, which I then had to speed up in edit. But I'll leave this little slow-mo clip here because sparks in slow-mo are kind of cool. And done. With those welded together and ground down, they're basically ready to go. Next, I need to drill some clearance holes for 1/4-20 bolts. The plan is to have 2 1/4-20s going in from the front and 2 coming up from the bottom that I'll put in later. Once I have the holes on the part, I can put it in place and mark and drill the holes on the subframe. And once it's mounted to the subframe, I can mount the other half of the over-center clamp. Nothing special here, drilling a hole in steel. I think you get the idea, right? I'm drilling holes. I'll check back in when I'm done. 8 holes drilled in the 2 parts. They've cooled down. Now I can go and test fit them to the frame to mark where the holes need to go in the subframe. So step 1, the bracket, making sure we've got the correct one. So the long extra tail goes towards the back, not like this on the other side, which would make it too tall and not wide enough. So it's gonna slip underneath, tight back to the frame, and I'm gonna mark and drill tap these 2 holes into the subframe. Well, I just ran into my next, that earlier vision of how I was gonna do this doesn't quite work. My plan was to take a clamp and clamp it this way, and a second clamp to pull it back tight that way, but as we can see, the only place that I could put a clamp would be over here, which isn't really gonna clamp this. I'll see if I can sneak one of my little ones on back here, but I think we're gonna have to rely more on something else to hold it in place when I mark those holes. Well, my big clamps don't fit because, well, they're too big, and my small clamps don't open wide enough, even though they might fit. So I guess sometimes there's just no replacing the human hand. So not only is this a tight space to fit into, now I've got to get my hands and the part and my drill in. Effectively what I'm doing here with my left hand is pushing the part tight against this face, tight in against this face, and tight up to the bottom. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to bring my drill in that's the same size as what I use for the holes. And even though the chuck is pressing against my hand, we'll mark the hole. At the same time, we'll mark this one. Hopefully, those look like they're fairly centered in there. So now I have 2 little marks right at the edge of that. This tape is there to, well, I don't know why I have it on the front face, but it was there, I guess, because the aluminum originally came around the front here. So that was to isolate the aluminum deck from the steel. So 1 hole centered there, 1 hole centered there. I'm going to grab my center punch and hit those a little harder, and then I will proceed to drill those. And I almost made a big oops here, but I actually need to change the drill bit size because those are going to end up as tapped holes, not through holes. That's that's too close. My luck, I'd smash it. I'll probably also forget to plug it back in. All right. Those should be two nicely punched centers. And yet again, I have chosen the perfect camera angle for you to see nothing. And since I can't seem to get any good camera angles in this spot while I'm working, and I'm pretty sure you all know what it looks like when you tap a hole, let's just say the holes are tapped. And while we're at it, let's just say the plate's in place as well. So now I can mark where the holes for the clip need to go and take it all apart again. Hopefully I can slip this clip in the back, get everything lined up top, and not drop the little clip. But apparently I can't. So now can I get that clip back out of where it fell? Yeah, okay. Let's try this again. I know you can't see. There we go. So using kind of itself to hold itself in place, can we just get enough? I guess if I put a piece of tape back there, it would probably work. All right, take two. Let's stick a piece of tape on here, and then once again, see, that's where we want to be. Can I, what do I do with my drill bit? This one? Nothing wants to stay in place here. I don't know if you can see this or not. That's where my first hole wants to be. All I need is one hole marked and I can line it up on the bench. So now I have a little dot right there. So now I can take it all back apart again and drill and tap those two holes. It was probably a little hard to see under the truck, but you can see right there is a little dot that the end of my drill bit made. So I'll drill and tap that hole, and then I'll actually put a bolt through it to get the center of my other hole. And then I can drill and tap the second hole. First hole drilled and tapped, ready to mark and start the second one. Taking way longer than it should, probably because I'm deathly afraid of snapping a tap off in the 1/4 inch thick steel. And of course, in the middle of it, when I went to test fit that screw fitting through it, I dropped this and it went way underneath here. So that slowed me down a little bit as well. But now I'm gonna drill and tap the second hole, and then we can go into a final test fit. Well, the second hole, for some reason, didn't take nearly as much effort. So we now have 2 holes drilled, tapped, mounted the hook, and I've ground the back down flush so that the bolts don't stick through. Let's give it a test fit. So far, everything looks good. Let's try giving that toggle clamp a tighten and see how things pull together out here. I've just tightened these nuts enough that the nyloc is engaged here. I haven't done anything really to play with the tension. But if we release this clamp, lower it down and hook it on below, give it a snap and see, oh yeah, nice tightening up the gap here. I suspect some of that is actually the deck moving up to the camper, probably more so than the camper box moving down to the deck, but either way, much nicer and tighter. And again, I can tighten this up a little more. So here again is, you watch the gap here, oops, how much we can tighten up. There we go. Now once again, the reason for this is not to hold the camper box to the subframe. It is to tension things up before we put the mounting bolt in place. And if we look in here at that set of holes, it's going to go through that aluminum tab, and watch there when we tighten this up. Let's see, I don't know how well we'll be able to see anything, but let me put the camera on the tripod so my hand's not moving. So we want to be watching in this area and kind of along here. That's where we'll see any movement. So I'm going to tighten up the clamp here. Yeah, difficult to see on camera, but you can actually see it moving here. Yeah, you can see it moving back there as well. Again, I haven't played with the tension yet, but as a start, it definitely seems to be functioning, and I can adjust how much tension is going on there. Once again, I seem to have run myself out of time even though I'm not finished. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. Make sure you check the links in the video description. But most importantly, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.